Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. For a long time now, eyes in India have been really focused on Norway, especially over two little children whom the Norwegian state took into its own custody. India and Indians got really upset about that, and then questions started to emerge. What's actually happening between the parents? Is there a problem with the mother? The children, were they in some way being affected by that? And should, therefore, the state really take custody of them? We're going to be taking a look at it, a little bit at that on The Big Fight, but also looking at the broader question of relationships, of divorce, of children in broken marriages. And in situations like that, what should happen? How should they be protected? Should the state step in and take custody? Or at the end of the day, are the parents always the best people to take charge and take care of their children? We have a great panel joining us. Let me just start with joining us from Mumbai, Suchitra Krishnamurthy, actor and singer. It's great to have you with us. Quasar Padamsee joining us as well from Mumbai. Thanks for being with us here in the studio. Jaya Jaitley, former president of the Samta Party. Rahul Ishwar, spokesperson of the Sabarimala Trust. It's great to have you with us. Dr. Jitendra Nagpal, consultant psychiatrist. And Mrunalini Deshmukh, who's a divorce lawyer who's really been very instrumental, I guess, in a large number of very high-profile celebrity divorce cases as well. Thank you all so much for being with us. Let me just start off by very quickly looking at this entire episode of Norway. And Jaya Jaitley, perhaps you have a viewpoint on this. Is it correct in a state like that for the Norwegian state to say, the children come first, we're going to take them into foster care? Or at the end of the day, should children always be with their parents, the father or the mother, even if there are questions here?
Well, I think Norway was a particular case. In India, we would say definitely don't part the children from the parents because there are plenty of other family structures. Norway seems to have a particularly hammer-like attitude about situations like this, and I think they were too harsh.
And perhaps a better way of taking care of the children once the state does take charge of them, because here in India, if the state was to take charge of the children, you know, you'd wonder as to what the state would do about it.
No, I don't think we've become that state-oriented yet. We still have a huge culture of family, friends, all kinds of people who crowd in, whether you want them or not, to look after situations like this. And I think what's happened is this mismatch between, quite rightly, Indian family culture and what happens there. Everything is so unitary. Everybody is so secluded in their own homes that if you can't sort out problems between husband and wife, there may be no parents to think they can come in, so the state comes in. I don't think that suits India, and in fact I felt it's a pity that everybody is hammering our government so much for having interfered, because I think in the way the things worked out, the government should have interfered. Otherwise, who was there? The parents and the parents' were struggling with this huge state.
Is it right for the state to intervene if they think that the children are at danger or at risk?
Children's rights are very important, but in connection with the child, parents' rights should be, the superior right in connection with the child. Because the child has the first responsibility, or the parents has a first responsibility towards the child. We are never opposing a state interference or...
But what if the parents are not being able to take care of the child then?
There are exceptions. There are exceptions to the case, especially in a nation like India, where we have many family support structures. And I would not say the intention of Norwegian government is bad, but their vision but their viewpoint is a bit narrow. Even many nations of Europe, if you beat the 5-year-old, 6-year-old children, they can call the police and police will come and question the parents. I think that's a very, very narrow viewpoint of the family. Society, state is very important, but family should be the prime custodians, or family should have the prime responsibility and rights regarding the children.
Let me get my guest from Mumbai in on this. Suchitra, what would be your sense of this? Rahul just said the parent should always come first.
I think... Yeah.
Is that correct, or should the child always come first?
What happened in Norway... no, I think everybody should be placed equally in this respect. And what happened in Norway is not just a question of not understanding, of being intolerant towards the parents, but it's also being intolerant of the culture of a completely different land and nation. And I think it was a bit extreme. Of course, if there is an abusive situation, it is right for the state to intervene, but to judge an abusive situation calls for a lot more than just, swooping down and taking kids away and stuff, because that is ultimately detrimental to everybody concerned.
That is detrimental
to the child, that is detrimental, yeah.
Well, in this particular case, we're not entirely sure what exactly has happened with regards to why the kids were removed and how much that escalated. I mean, there are things that are being said, and there's lots of conjecture. So I don't think we really know. For me personally, I think the child does come first, irrespective of any scenario. In the case, whether it's good parenting, bad parenting, there needs to be a line, and how you want to bring up your child, you have the liberty to, as long as you do not affect that child through abuse, physical or mental, or neglect, which is the other way, whether it's, you know...
Yeah, that's what I meant. I said no, I said good parenting, bad parenting is also a relative thing, and, you know, culture and different backgrounds must be taken into perspective before you just say that this is the right way and there's no other way. Every child is born with their karma, and things have to reach a balance. You know, in India there are enough abusive situations where you wish the children were taken away, but they're not. So that's the other extreme. And I don't know exactly
the state has a great responsibility in taking care of the children, especially from abusive parents. But parents' rights should be supreme in the case of a child.